Hi everyone, thought I'd bring you along while I harvest the garlicscapes. It's a nice beautiful day and I want to get this done before it gets too hot. So this is the raised bed with the remainder of the garlic. I think you saw in one of the previous videos I harvested all the garlic that was in the greenhouse, and this one out here is taking a little longer, and that's what the scapes look like. And as you can see, most of them are ready. Alright, I'm going to get the rest of them and then I'll show you how many of them we have. We'll see you shortly. Alright, so that's how much we have harvested. And that's the scapes from about, I'll say a little more than half of the garlic out here. And the ones I still have left are not quite ready yet. Still need a few more days. But other than that, everything seems to be progressing nicely. And as you can see, the Egyptian walking onions are doing quite well. And we have maybe about 10 of them out here. And as you can see in there, cilantro is doing quite well. And down here, if I can get there, you can see that my squash and melons are also doing quite well. And there's one back there, and I have the lace right there, and that one right there, that's the Lolita. And let's see, I believe that is a squash. It's going to be pretty. It's red and yellow. And over here we have more delays. We have lots of spinach, and that right there is tatsoi. And we have a row of Swiss chard, and I have sprinkled beans throughout the bed, and I'm looking forward to when things start climbing up the arch. It's probably still a few weeks away. And on this side, still really tiny, we have spaghetti squash, and we have honey nut squash somewhere in here. They're still very tiny. Let's see. Oh, there's one right there. Not sure how clear that's going to be, but there's one. Some more beans right there. And there's another butternut squash. There's another one down there. And I also have onions sprinkled out through the raised bed. And I think what I'll do is I'll wait and then do another video when they're a little bit bigger, where you can see them a little better. Yeah, today I just wanted to make sure we got the garlicscapes, and I'll be out here probably tomorrow or the next day getting the rest of them. And I'll quickly show you this other raised bed right here, which which has most of my greens. We have cabbage in the corner over there, and this over here is the Chinese broccoli, and we can see one already over there has bolted, and behind that they're still tiny, we really can't see them. I have some okra, and then on the back, all the way on the back of this raised bed, I have bins all through, and I put these things in here for the bins to climb on. And this used to be runs for a little dog that belonged to the previous owner, and because D doesn't stay in a run, that's what I'm using this for. Alright, so we also have some more spinach in here, and Swiss chard, a few more tatsoi. I don't seem to have very good luck with tatsoi. It always seems to want to bolt even when it's cold. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with those, but you know, I tried. And then over here I have one tomato, and that's the black Karim, and we have some more Egyptian walking onions, one there and the other one right there, and we have one more over here that's in hiding. There we go. And I don't know if you can see that, but I also have some zinnias right there. We have a row of zinnias. That one's kind of covered by the beans, and there's another one right there. The rest of them did not sprout, so I need to come back and sprinkle in some more over there. But otherwise, I'm happy with the way the garden is going. And I'll show you the other raised bed and kind of what is going on in the greenhouse. So let's get this zipped up. And let's go see the other raised bed, and we'll come back for this here in a little bit. Let's leave that down there for now. So over here, these are growing really fast. So there is the anti-mollis cherries. This looks really healthy. I think they like being outside. They are not doing well in the greenhouse. And then we have the Max Gold squash, the emerald squash, another Max, and an emerald right there. And we have one more emerald over here. And then I picked up some snapdragons when I was out at the garden center the other day. There's another one, and there's another one right there. And then I have my crimson red one here, and we have the jalapeno, and that's the Pantera. I'm not sure if that's going to produce in time. It's still so tiny, but then again, everything is really tiny right now. And then we have my sweet potato that I mentioned last time that I got from my friend. Hi Amanda. And I transplanted this anti-molly cherry, and it kind of got damaged. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And there's another one right there. So that's where we are at with that raised bed. And now for the greenhouse. No, I didn't get the right shoes on. Alright. That's what the outside is looking like. Oh, I don't know if I've shown you this before. We have this rhubarb down here. Looks like it's just about done. And I've picked quite a bit of it over the last few weeks. Then we made some banana rhubarb bread. That was really good. So back to the greenhouse and the mess in here. So that's what it looks like right here. There's my tomatoes. That's the Paul Robeson. And in the back we have some onions there. And then we have the tomato back there. It's just now getting tall enough for me to start putting vertically over there. And we have the rest of the Egyptian walking onions. And we have cabbage back there. And then we have this row of tomatoes right here. And this one right here is my mystery tomato. And as you can see, it already has flowers. And that back there, don't know if you can see that. That's another one of those. So these two, I'm not sure what those are. They just volunteered in here. So we'll find out together what those are supposed to be. That right there, I did not mention, that's the San Marzano right there. We have another cabbage right there. More Egyptian walking onions. And we have some leeks left over here. And as you can see, that Egyptian walking onion is ready to drop and start walking. And I'm just thinking I'll just let that one walk in here. And we have a spinach. We have a lettuce plant right there. That's just about done. And then I have some Roma tomato. I don't know if you can see that. It's a Roma tomato right there. It's teeny tiny. Hopefully that's going to make it. All right, we have some more beans in here. We have a row of them right there. And again, I apologize if I'm not showing this too well. I'm still getting used to this camera. So back here, don't know if you can see that. We have right there. That's a pineapple tomato. We have the Swiss chard right there. And we have the onions that are doing really well. I don't know if you can see that right there. Let's see if I can get a close up. Right there. And that's the short day onions that are starting to come up. We have quite a few back there. And then obviously I have this antimony cherries all over the place. So I'm transplanting them outside as I find them. And then that's more of them back there. Right there. And right there. And then we have dill. That's just about done. And we have lots of beets in here. As you can see, they're all over. And we have Swiss chard back there. Don't know if you can see that right there. And then we have a San Marzano tomato right there. You can't really quite see it. Okay, there we go. There it is. And then we have this over here. That's ready for the composting bin. And I've just kept it in here and allowed it to grow as shade. But it's time for it to go. And back there, we have a poblano pepper. We still have Well, this need to go. The radishes are done. Those are just bolting. And then right here, hiding under the bits, we have a Paul Robeson tomato right there. And I've started stringing it horizontally that way. And then back here, we have a San Marzano. And it's just tall enough to where I've started stringing it this way. And for a while I was worried that doing this horizontal stringing might become a problem, but it seems to be doing quite well. And I need to transplant this away from here. That's the chocolate pear tomato, and I'm going to move it to the other side of the greenhouse on this side now that most of these leeks are gone, so it's not in the way of the San Marzano and the Paul Robeson. Alright, then over here we have another mystery tomato, and as you can see, it's already starting to flower as well. So right there. So we'll find out together what that is. And then in the back, I don't know if you can see that. That is another red crimson. And we have beans right under that. And some onions right there. And you can see that one has started bulbing. And we have another cabbage, and this is still the tiara cabbage. And then over here we have a pepper, and this is a habanero, the yellow habanero. And we have another one on this side of the greenhouse. So that we can see that right there. So we have two of those in here. And the celery, my celery has started coming up. There's more right there, and there's another one right there. We'll look at it shortly. And over here we have another mystery tomato, and as you can see, that's flowering as well. That's another Egyptian walking onion. I planted some of those bulbs that had started walking in here. We have more onions. So everything right here is currently looking really sparse. But there's a lot of different plants that are getting ready to fill the place up. It just feels naked after all that lettuce that I had in here. And back here, oh, let's get that out of the way. We have another little chocolate pear coming up, and that right there, oh, I have to remember the name of that, but that's a flower right there. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, and I don't have a label for it. And then we have a serrano right here, and another serrano right there. And we still have a few lettuce struggling in here. I'm not sure what this is, but it volunteered, so I'm just letting it grow. We still have a few cilantro that have started sprouting, and I'm just going to let those grow. That's another crimson red right there. And I believe this was a pak choy that bolted, and I'm just going to let it go to seed and just do its thing. And we have another radish right there. So that's the state of the greenhouse right now. Kind of feels empty, but we have lots of little plants coming up. So That's where we are at. And we will see you again in another week or two when we do another tour of where things are at. And I don't think I mentioned, that's how the wasabi radish is doing. I believe I have about 4 of those, and we'll see how those turn out. Alright, so that's it for now, and we'll see you again here in a few days. Bye everyone.